depends whether they go there and come back the same route or go across it. What difference does it make?
You need to go through. Everybody does it every day going over the North Pole. Flights do it all the time.
Define and went and came back.
The plane, it went down. It went over like 20 miles to the left, and then it came back up. It didn't go through the other side.
What plane are you referring to?
Wait.
What are you referring to?
The flight on any map.
No. That wouldn't be possible. What map are you talking about?
No, on a sphere, on a spherical map. They should have come down where they went to the tip of Antarctica, where they went through, and they should have come out on the other side.
I followed a large portion of that. Unfortunately, their connection was really bad.
It was.
But, I followed a large portion of that. Now, I didn't see them do anything on a spherical map. I saw them do things on a Mercator projection.
It was a Mercator projection, but I'm saying if you projected that into a sphere, all they did was go down. They went over west about 20 miles and back up.
That's demonstrably not true. That's completely not true. False, completely.
That's why I asked you which projection they used.
Well, but they didn't go through. If you just project where the points that were on that map, the islands and the regions they were at, and then they went up South America again. They didn't go around the globe. They did not.
Now, cynical. My question though was the reason why I asked you what map that they used is because of the fact that a Mercator map, if projected onto a flat map, which is what a Mercator is, it's a flat projection of a spherical Earth. What do you call it? If you go down or if you cross the South Pole, it's going to look like exactly as you described. It's going to go down.
No. But the 20 miles, it was actual travel time. I was watching it live. It's not like they just like blinked and it went 20 miles over and then it was back on the other side. Oh, no, I know. When you go on a Mercator map, when you go down, it looks like if you took a straight shot left or right and then came up on the other side. I know. But when they came down, they actually travel. You could see the flight traveling left for about 20 minutes worth.
Left?
And it wasn't
left? Left of what? What do you mean?
Left to what you're looking at in the plan, west. Left, west.
Right.
Yeah, and then they went up. So it was real time. It wasn't like it jumped.
Right, and that's what it looks like on a Mercator map when you cross over the pole of a sphere.
Yeah, but they should have not been about 20 miles over to the,
the 20 miles that you're using right now is a false is a false measurement that you're making on a distorted map.
Yeah.
Yeah, but when you look at it on a sphere, if you go down South America, you're not gonna come back down on the left side of South America. You should have come back on the other side in Africa or on the other side.
Well, I'll look it up, just to clarify, but
I'll look at
you're saying that they went 20 miles to the left basically means that all you're seeing on the Mercator projection is that they crossed the pole and now they're coming out on the other side of it.
No, but they didn't even go that far down into the pole. They went in like maybe 50 miles inland, maybe, if anything, from the edge. And then they flew left and then they went up. No, they didn't go that deep in. Look at it. I mean, I watched it live. I was at work watching it live.
I watched a lot of it live too. Well, what was live available, but
and then they had a 10-hour which went offline afterwards. But then you could go back and watch the 10-hour video, and you could scrub through it and see exactly what happened.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, if I don't know if I can share my screen so I can show you what I was talking about that flight. Can you guys see it now? The globe.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
So, all right. So this is what the flight did. I was watching it live. It came. I started watching it when it was leaving this island, someplace east side of Africa.
They call it Madagascar.
Yeah, and it came down. It skirted this way, and then it went in not even further than about where my arrow is now, and then it skirted out this way a little bit, and it went out this way. What I consider circumnavigation on the south, you have to come from here, which is doable. Got a big land. It's called Australia, and you go through and you come out on the other side on the tip of South America. That is circumnavigating. If you did that on the Mercator map, it would look like you came up on one side on one edge of the map, and about halfway on the other side, you'll pop up.
Answer me this then.
on that side.
If that happened, if they flew from
Australia.
Antarctica, or excuse me, from Australia to Argentina, right?
Yes.
If they did that, then it's pretty much it for you, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So there wouldn't be a why didn't they fly over here? Why didn't they do a
Yeah.
couple of donuts around the South Pole?
Oh no. They could do
that.
they could do anything they want. They could freaking dance overnight. I don't care. In Antarctica.
Okay, so your problem was the flight route that they chose.
Yep. Yeah, they didn't even go straight through from here down even this way. They actually kind of skirted out this way, and then they went in like around this tip here, and then in a little bit, and then they came up conveniently up here again. I'm like, that's not circumnavigation.
Okay, now as far as I'm aware, the circumnavigation that was actually discussed was about going around the world. Okay, it wasn't necessarily about North Pole to South Pole or anything like that. Yeah. Now, I might be wrong on that, but because I only read parts of the website. Okay, but this was a matter of fastest time around the world. Okay, you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
And what do you call it? Now, some of the worst ways to do that is actually to fly around the equator, just because of trade winds and all that other stuff. What do you call it? So, my question is, are we not attempting to equate that flight with a pole-to-pole run?
Yeah, but even the pole-to-pole run that you saw that you were talking about, or somebody was referring to, that Greater Sapien got scammed for, even that wasn't going to go around the other side. It was going to go in, skirt, and come back out. I think it's ridiculous.
Can I just? I was supposed to say quiet, Jose, but I've just got something.
No, I'm good. Good.
I think it's quite important to say, if I may. Right, I was just looking at my globe, and you're quite right. I've just looked on the website. Okay, they took a point that was just east of Madagascar. Now, the thing is, if you draw a direct line from that point through the South Pole, and you carried on a direct line, okay, you're coming out into the South Pacific, and there is literally absolutely nothing there for thousands and thousands of miles.
I know.
Now, yeah, hold on, let me finish. But the problem is they obviously needed to do stops because it wasn't a non-stop flight. Okay, so their only option really was then to go via South America. Yeah, it was a slight detour, okay, but they still went over the pole. But they couldn't do it any other way because otherwise they have nowhere else to stop. That's a simple answer to it. That's it.
Yeah. Do you have a link to the video? Do you have the video they actually show over the pole? Because what I was watching.
No. I don't have a video, but I can certainly show you the screen where it gives you the track.
Because I recall.
Hold on, and if you look on a globe, okay, all you need to do is just draw a straight line. But I can show you the website that I'm looking at right now if you want me to. I can do that certainly.
Okay.
Would you want me to do that?
Yeah, I can stop sharing. Yeah, stop sharing here.
Right, hold on. Let me just do that now. Okay, can you see my screen now?
Yes, I can see that.
All right. Okay. Well, right. So if you look at the track, you were quite right. They actually came from. You can see Madagascar where my pointer is there now.
Yeah.
Okay. And they went obviously around that way, and they actually went a detour. They headed west, and they went slightly upwards to South America. As it says there, stop in Chile, basically. Now, I can't actually show you. I can't actually physically show you a globe, but you can do it on any globe you got yourself. If you draw a direct line from where Madagascar is straight through the South Pole, come out the other way, you're coming out in the South Pacific.
Yes, correct.
There's literally no stops there from them to stop. Literally nothing. Thousands of miles of nothing.
Yeah. I'd like to point something out on the map that's being shown right now on the screen. Hitting the bottom of the map is not just going 20 miles in, that's going to the pole.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but that's only a drawing on a map. I mean, that's not what I saw live.
I'm just pointing that out. Hitting the bottom of the map is actually, that's not going 20 miles in, that's hitting the pole.
I know that point in the pole is being, I understand. Yeah, that point in the pole is being stretched to that flat line at the bottom. I mean, it's being stretched. So the whole flat line on the top and the bottom is the actual South and North Pole.
Correct.
Being stretched out. I know how that works.
Yeah. So there's no way, like exactly the size slate. There's just no way that it could have possibly been 20 minutes or half an hour.
Yeah, but then when that yellow line, as you go down and you touch that flat line at the bottom. When you come up, you can't come up in the exact same point. You should have a shift, quite a bit of a shift. Whichever way you go, there had to be a split in that line of where you come out.
There is one.
Sorry, I don't understand what you mean by that. Sorry.
It does split.
I don't see the split. I just see a curvy touching and going.
Well, then
Yeah, break it up there, Bob.
look at the lines of look at the lines of longitude. There's a split. How many lines of longitude is that different?
It's touching the one right in the smack in the center, whatever that longitude is in the middle of Africa.
No, it's going east of Madagascar down to the South Pole, and then it's coming up over the Antarctic Peninsula to the southern tip of South America. There's a split in the longitude.
Each line there is 30 degrees.
Yeah, let me make a screen capture of that. Actually, 1 second before you. I'm gonna share. And then let me do a screen capture of that. Do a snip because I want to explain what I mean. New.
Okay, and while you're doing that, here's the bottom line on this. That's the route of the one more orbit flight. And if you're going to question that, you have to show the plane is somewhere else. It's supposed to be on that route. And until you do that, your entire argument is pointless. I've been listening to it.
Of course, no, it's fine. I'm gonna show. If you guys can stop sharing, and I'll share my screen. All right. So this is what I mean. If you're going down this route and you go down, first of all, in this projection, there is no need to curve the way they curve. You should go down following the up and down curve. And once you touch that point, you should have come out here.
If you did
around here.
If you did that, you missed the pole.
No, because you touched the pole already.
No.
Remember, all these points is a pole. This whole line is a south pole.
So you're suggesting circling over the pole then until when? Why would you circle over the pole? You just have to cross it.
You cross it by doing this. This is how you cross it. You touch it, and when you cross on the other side, you come out here.
Draw that line on Google Maps centered on the Antarctic continent and the South Pole.
Okay.
I actually have that right now if y'all want it.
Yeah, I'm gonna show you right now.
I've got something to share as well.
Let me stop share and let me share now the other one.
Yeah, because you either don't know what you're looking at or can't visualize it. So let's get a better visualization of it.
All right. So basically, if you went down, can you guys see my globe? Now.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, we see it.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, so if you came on this side, I can't draw here because this isn't a snip. But if you come down here and you touch the South Pole, which is right here, this is where all the JPEG is being wrapped around, right? This little cloud here. So you come down.
If I can just interject 1 second, on the left sidebar, there should have a
and then you
ruler.
come out here. That I will say is circumnavigation. You come down here, you touch the South Pole, and you come down here. That's exactly
what that's what you're looking at on that map.
What was that?
Do you not realize that is exactly what you're looking at on that map?
Yeah, that's exactly what they did.
The definition of polar. Cynical.
Yeah.
The definition of polar circumnavigation for record purposes is 160 degrees crossing of the equator. So it doesn't have to be 180 degrees. It has to be 160. And that's exactly what they did. All right.
But if they
look,
did this,
know what you're talking about before you present these things.
No.
Okay.
I know what I'm talking about. If they did this, what I'm saying right now,
debatable.
You go down, touch, and go out, that will be circumnavigation. I will consider that circumnavigation if they did that. But they didn't do that.
Cynical. I'll tell you what. Right now, I'm not on my big computer. Otherwise, I would have already done this. But how about you accept that there's a possibility you might be misreading that map? I will map this out for you on the globe using a Mercator map wrapped around the globe to show you what actually happened. How's that?
Do that. That'll be great. And going back to Bob's point, Bob, I watched the stuff live. When I went back a few days later, the video was down. It was about a 10-hour video that I was watching.
The times are still there. And the bottom line is, we have the track of the aircraft. Do you have evidence that aircraft was somewhere other than on that track?
No.
Okay.
You have to take it for their words. But that's why I have to say that a real circumnavigation should have to leave from Australia and come out on the other side and the tip of South America.
Damn you, Miles.
That's not what they consider circumnavigation for the record purposes. It's crossing the equator 160 degrees apart.
What is Bob using? Bob, what are you using as a microphone today? A potato?
But they won't do it because they can't fake that. You can't fake that. If you did that, you really definitely.
You're saying it's fake.
Well, that they can't fake it because of the distances. If that definitely. If they did that, they will debunk the A map. They will debunk the A map.
Comment of saying that they can't fake that implies that something here was faked. What was faked?
No, the way, I mean, the whole going into the actual South Pole, whatever, that should translate to not a curve on the other map that we were just sketching over.
Well, are you seeing what Miles has got on the screen right now?
Yeah, I see the globe. Yeah,
Miles, hit Antarctica, bud.
That is not. You see that point, right?
Yeah, that's called hanging a right, heading back towards land.
Yes, that's not. That shouldn't translate to a curve.
Yes, it should. All he's got point to point there.
No, there should be a skip. When you take the South Pole and you stretch it into a line, you touch it and then you come out elsewhere, up.
What?
Just like I
can read a map, Cynical Skeptic?
Wow,
yes,
where are you getting that from?
Can you read a map?
Really?
All right.
Skeptic, can you read a map?
Yes, I can read a map.
Then why are you saying this?
Because it should.
Why can't you read that map?
Because that is actually it's touching the South Pole on a straight line and going up on a straight line. That should translate.
So it touches the South Pole.
What difference does it make whether they actually did it in a curve and touched the South Pole and then headed up to South America, or hold on, I haven't finished, or went to the South Pole and then did a turn? What difference does it make?
Casual spaceman, I'm going to tell you what difference does it make right now. And before I get going, I would like to apologize to all of you that the introduction to this video was so long. I needed to show enough background so you know what went on in this conversation, and just show you how insanely blind some people can be, when they just follow dogma. People like Bob and Sly and Casual Spaceman, they just cannot visualize. I mean, these guys say that they have more experience reading maps than I do, which should be the case because Bob supposedly is a pilot. But man, I would not want to be on a plane with that guy because he cannot read maps for crap. And I'm going to show you guys why they were wrong. So this is the map that's actually posted on the website for that record-breaking circumnavigation flight that happened a few months ago. And this yellow line is exactly what they had on their website. The only thing I added here was this magenta line indicating the South Pole and North Pole. And I went in also labeled all the longitude lines. They're not all here. They're skipping 3. So it's every 30 degrees they're showing here. And in the Google map that I have here, it's every 10 degrees. So, but there is a correlation on the ones that are shown. So if you're looking here for 40 degrees east, you see how it's touching Africa right to the right side right here on that tip. And you will see it right here. This one, if you follow it down, 40 degrees east. Where I cut the flight live when I was watching online, it was leaving from this point east of Madagascar, as we were discussing in the hangout. And as you can tell right here, this is the point in their map. It's exactly the same. It's almost in between the middle of 40 and 70, which is right here, right in between 40 and 70. So follow in between 50 and 60. Boom, right there. So we're on the money. Then you go down about halfway between the departure point to the coast where they touch point in Antarctica, and halfway through that, you're going right over 50. So 10 degrees over from 40. And that's exactly what I have right here, halfway from here to here, which is about, let me actually bring this here so it's easier to point things out. So halfway from when they departed to where they touch land, halfway, and it's about 50. From here to here is about 50. That will be 60, 70, right? All right, so we're in agreement. So now you can see where they show the route. They touch point land just to the right of 40th east longitude. And I went to the globe and I drew that just to the right of 40, right here at this point. Now, the red line, if you follow this line and you follow a curve, which a plane will just do, will follow that curve that they're showing on that map. This is my point. This is what I was talking about. They never went in all the way to the South Pole. This curve could never go down to the South Pole. You will have to do this ridiculous turn, shown in blue here by myself, to even touch and go the South Pole. The curve, when they had this thing live online, which wasn't GPS, because supposedly they lost GPS signal, it basically went in here, around here someplace. They actually literally show going, this is what I was talking about, by about 20 miles or so. They did a straight line left, right here. A little short line. I remember watching the video. And that's kind of odd, that's going straight left. That's kind of weird. And then it blinked out again, and then they showed it coming out from here. So I don't know how long it took in between. I was at work watching the video, doing all this stuff from memory, basically. The video, I tried to search for the video. It's about 10 hours long, and I could not find it. They don't have it hosted on YouTube anymore. And just to recap this route, the points, actually, I kind of got sidetracked a little bit. Let me just show you the track that they took. We already went over this point here, which is right to the left, right to the right of 40, between 40 and 50. So right to the left of, right to the right of 40, between 40 and 50, which is around here someplace, is 60, 70. And then it went straight down, curving left, right? So there's no way that it never turned right. Curving left, right? But the killer is where it came out in the other side of Antarctica. So it hardly went inland. I mean, you can tell it's in between. It's just beyond the 60th parallel. I mean, not 60th, the 75, just over the 75th parallel, right? Not even close to going to the South Pole. And then to find this point, it's a little peninsula that's right in between 30 and 20. So let's try to find that on this side where it came out. 20 and 30. So 20 will be here, 30 will be about a third away, 40, right? So 30, that little peninsula is just stretched out here because of the projection, but it's going right over that peninsula, right? There we go. Here's that little peninsula. I'm actually giving it the benefit of the doubt, and I'm going underneath it, so a little lower south than they actually showed in their map. And then you go to the tip of South America here at 70th, and the tip of South America at 70th, which is about right here, 80, 70, 60, 50. Boom. So this traced line over a globe will look just like this. So there you go, Sly. That's why you haven't done it, right? Yeah. But anyway, so this is my point, Bob, Sly, especially Sly, because Sly said he was going to do this. And the reason he hasn't done this is because he encountered exactly what I said he was going to. He's like, oh shit, I was wrong. Yeah. Thank you, Sly. Anyways, so the same thing will happen on the North Pole. What these guys don't understand is that if you try to go over the pole on a Robinson projection, which this one is, almost similar to a Mercator, which Mercator will just be straight up and down longitude lines. this is what you will have. I mean, if they had done this and they navigated, doesn't have to be straight through a longitude line. They could have curved around here a little bit, okay, crossing over longitude lines. I don't care about that. They weren't getting my point when I was telling them that they were crossing all these longitude lines. This is what they weren't getting. If you go down to the ball, just touch and take a turn and go up. This is exactly, and the reason why I did this over the longitude lines is because I wanted to do it exactly on the same equivalent. So you're going down 70 and you go up 50. This projection, these two green lines, is exactly what these are. This point, what they don't get, that this point is being stretched out, it's being opened. You have to take this point and stretch it out into a line. This point of this arc goes over someplace to the right. This point of this arc on the left goes on someplace to the left. And this is what these, I don't even want to say, I don't want to insult people, but this is what these people can't even see or visualize. Short-sighted, let's call them. So if you go down 70 east and touch the south pole, as soon as you keep going, unless you turn back, you're going to be coming back right up here. But as soon as you go across the pole, this is where you're coming up at 50. As you're going there and turn, I mean, depending how many degrees you turn, but let's say you turn this many degrees, so this 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 120, which is actually kind of what they did in that flight. They didn't do 160, like Bob was saying, that is legally circumnavigation. If you do this 120 degrees, you go down, touch the South Pole, you're going to come out right here. And if this was a Mercator, this will be a straight line down. When you touch the South Pole, you're going to be coming out here and go straight up. It's just common sense. It's just translating lines from a globe into a projection, which they were saying that I wasn't getting, but in fact, they were the ones that weren't getting it. Anyways, this is my presentation here. Sly, I'm going to be waiting for yours, which should be looking exactly like mine. And I'm waiting for an apology from you and Bob. And for the rest of you guys watching, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks. Bye-bye.